your elephant balloon hat, you're going to need two 260 balloons. Now, why do I only have one here? Well, I'm going to show you how to make the elephant part, and then I'll just have a little discussion about the part that goes around the head. But once you make an elephant, typically you don't have enough to make the band that goes around the head, and so you'll need a second balloon of the same color. So we're mainly talking about the elephant here. First of all, inflate your balloon with about 4 inches of uninflated end. You can burp your balloon, tie it off. Starting at the nozzle, we're going to make 2 tiny pinch twists. We're working on the trunk. Starts off with a basic twist, and then you twist these together. By the way, this part is optional. You don't have to do this, but it makes a nice finished end to the trunk that we're working on. Now make your trunk. You can make this as long as you want. Just keep in mind that when a person's wearing this on their head, the trunk tends to hang down a little bit, and you don't want to obscure their view, particularly if you're at a party or carnival where people are walking around. So just keep that in mind, but we'll just make a medium-sized trunk. And if you like, you can do some bending now to give it some shape. Get that nice elephant-style trunk curve. Now make a basic twist. You're gonna make a tiny fold twist. So bend it in half, hold, and now twist right here. We're making the first ear. Now we have a small basic twist, about 2 inches. One more fold twist to match the first one here. You have something that looks like this. Now we're going to take this here and twist it into here. Very similar to making a monkey. You're just twisting the entire assembly here like you would on the lid of a jar. Now this tends to not be that stable, so what I recommend you do is make a pinch twist here to hold everything in place. And there you have your elephant. And now you're ready to make the hat portion of your balloon hat here. Now as you can see, we're going to try and make the band here, but there is not enough balloon left to make a band that will go around somebody's head unless it's a really tiny kid. And I normally don't recommend giving balloon hats to little kids, or even balloons for that matter, under 2 years old. So what you'll have to do is splice in a second balloon. I think what works nicely is if you make a basic twist here for a neck, make a pinch twist here. At this point you can cut this off and then add a second balloon and make it to whatever length you want. So let's just do that. So I'm going to pinch here to cut off the rest. Let me get my scissors. You want slack here, otherwise it'll pop. Deflates nicely, and let's take this and tie it off. Now we're ready to add the second part, the headband, portion of our elephant balloon. If you'd like a more comic book kind of look, you can add some white balloons here, and I will show you how to do that later in the video. So let's add the headband. Balloon number 2, inflate it with about 4 or 5 inches from the end. Burp it, tie it. Because this balloon is going to go around a person's head, I like it to be soft so it will be less likely to pop. So you can kind of squeeze the balloon and distribute the air. And now it's soft. Make a twist here. Now we're ready to add our elephant to the hat. And the rest of the balloon is adjustable, so you can measure this and place it on a kid's head and just twist to fit. If you like, you can inflate the balloon less or just trim these off, however you like to do that. You're going to need a white balloon, and you're just going to inflate it to about 4 inches. Tie it off. Now let's add this balloon to our elephant. Just wrap the nozzle around the ear. Now we're going to make 2 tiny basic twists. Try and make them spherical, as round as possible. Now this part goes behind the ear here. You can see the comic book look that it gives the elephant. And let's just trim off the rest. Remember to get some slack and then trim where you have the slack. Trim off the extra. And you have an elephant balloon. Get out your markers, add some eyes, and you can hand this out and it will be a crowd pleaser.